I remember the anticipation that went into the release of Star Wars Visions. It was a project unlike anything Star Wars had ever done before. 9 unique stories from different universes, 9 ambitious projects being worked on by the best studios Japan had to offer. It was not only a bridge between the world of Star Wars fans and anime fans, but a bridge between Eastern and Western cultures alike. The setup was there, the hype was there. Sure, not everyone was super excited about an anime version of Star Wars, but almost everyone was willing to give it a shot. Finally, release day was here. Star Wars fans from across the globe tuned into their Disney Plus accounts and binged through all 9 episodes in the first couple days of its release. I made a couple videos myself discussing what kind of impact this massive project could have on the Star Wars community. At last, a breath of fresh air. No more rehashing of the same story from new angles. No more crossovers or cameos. No fan service or playing on already established feelings. Just new characters, stories, universes, and experiences. There was so much potential in what Star Wars Visions had to offer. I was so excited to see how it would grow and develop within the community. So the first couple of weeks following its release, there was discussion, reviews, and breakdowns. Everyone seemed relatively pleased with the series as a whole, and it looked like a pretty big win for Disney. And then, silence. No more Visions content, fan art, or discussion. Just total radio silence. What the hell happened to Star Wars Visions? Now, I have a few theories as to why this project may have fizzled out so fast. Not everyone was on board with the idea of Star Wars being done in an anime style, which is completely fair. With so many fans on the fence about this show, it's maybe not that much of a surprise that it didn't really explode in the Star Wars community. That being said, I have no idea how Japan received this series, but I'm sure it was received a lot better than it was in North America. As Star Wars fans, we tend to consume new Star Wars content the moment it's released. We just can't help ourselves. We're eager and passionate fans with a deep love for everything Star Wars. The good thing about weekly releases is that it forces us to slow our roll. It forces us to really relish each episode for a full week before moving on to the next one a week later. In that week, everyone discusses the episode at length. We search for Easter eggs and hidden meanings in everything. We make predictions for next week's episode and have enough time to get hyped before its release. That being said, if Star Wars Visions had released weekly for 9 weeks, it may have received that same type of love. But having all 9 episodes released in one day had the opposite effect. We consumed the media immediately, as fast as possible, still leaving meat on the bones. Honestly, the Visions release week feels like a blur to me, and I took my time. I only watched a couple of them every day, and then I rewatched them all again in the other language dub. It's the difference between the kid on Halloween who portions out their candy and enjoys it every day for 2 months, versus the kid that eats it all in one night and never wants to eat candy again after the sugar hangover. None of this is the fans' fault, it's all in the delivery. Star Wars Visions was 9 episodes. Each episode was its own story, so relatively short stories considering they were each 15 to 30 minutes long. That's just not a lot of content. Even if you really enjoyed 1 or 2 episodes a lot, there's only so much you can suck out of 30 minutes of media. There's only so much storytelling and character depth you can fit into such a small window, which unfortunately is not enough time to win the hearts of even the most dedicated fans. As soon as it was released, Disney dropped it like an old toy that they were done playing with. No further promotion, no behind the scenes footage, no meet the voice actors, no meet the studios that made them, nothing. When the company that releases the media doesn't give a shit about it after it's released, the fans will feel it. It makes the whole thing feel like a cheap show before the real content comes out, like the Book of Boba or Kenobi. Like it's just an appetizer, and who remembers the appetizer? Now I know in the past I've talked on stream about what's next for Star Wars Visions. At the time I was full of hope and ideas, but now I just kinda think that nothing is next. They kinda shot themselves in the foot with this project by not making it canon. Well, a double-edged sword I should say. Not making it canon allows the producers complete creative freedom to execute their vision to its fullest extent. They didn't have to storytell in the Star Wars universe with the usual minefield that most of the writers have to deal with, which is a huge plus. The downside is that we will likely never see these characters or universes ever again. Unfortunately, in the Star Wars fandom, if it's not canon, we don't care. It isn't taken seriously, and this isn't the fault of the fans, it's just how Star Wars as a media has evolved over time. It was the great Disney purging after George handed over the keys. When fans talk about the feelings of things that are canon versus not canon, things that have been retconned, things that are current to the timeline, it's a bit of a complicated and touchy subject. However, I think we can all agree that the canon stuff is just taken more seriously, period. And Visions was not canon, therefore not taken seriously. So those are my theories as to why Visions was a success, but never had a lasting impact on the fandom. So now we're left with the question, what would have needed to happen for it to be a bigger hit with the fans? It was a success, but not a lasting success. Well, it would have needed the opposite of everything we talked about. A, it would have needed to be received better in our culture. B, the episodes should have been released weekly. C, there should have been more episodes, and longer episodes, or at least a second season. D, Disney should have at least pretended to care about this project. And finally, E, I hate to admit it, but I think it would have had to be canon, as limiting as that is, for the fans to really care about it. Once it's canon, there's so much potential for a future of that character or their story. In the past, I theorized that they were going to take one of the episodes that was received the best and maybe make a full show, like a full season out of that project. But I no longer think that's going to happen. This may have just been a test to see how Western society would receive content like this, completely re-inspired and reimagined from another culture's vision. Maybe it was for Disney to extend their reach to the East, but currently it seems to be going nowhere fast. I'm currently reading through the Ronin novel, which is a continuation of the episode, and I'm really enjoying it. We get so much more character depth into who this mysterious Ronin is, and we go deep into the galaxy of this new universe and actually get a full story out of it. The new planets and perspectives of these characters is really refreshing, and it's been enjoyable to listen to. Why they picked that one particular episode to make a novel out of, I'm not sure. Why even bother at all? Probably just another test to see how it would be received by book audiences. But it does give me some hope for Star Wars Visions. It's the only continuation of the 9 episodes we have. So anyway, those are my thoughts. What do you think? Feel free to comment below, or click the link in the description and share your thoughts in the Discord together. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.